Mr. Speaker, to debate the bill.
Gentleman has the floor to debate the bill.
I apologize for my voice. That's the reason I'm wearing the mask. I don't want to affect anybody else. I agree with the good lady from 11 that I'm certainly against any kind of obscene materials being distributed to minors. In our debate of 139 in the, may I asked unanimous consent to talk about other pending legislation.
Unanimous consent has been requested to refer to another bill. Is there an objection? Hearing none, the gentleman has the floor to discuss the other bill also.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. They brought us materials, but never once, and maybe they had them and maybe they just omitted telling us, but they never told us which library or what section those materials were from. Now, they may have had them, but they just didn't let us know. I took it on myself after we voted down 139 to work with some of the parents in my district or patrons in my district that were concerned about some of the books they'd heard about. And so I had them provide me with a list of the books that they had concerns about. And I went to the library. I started working on checking them out. I also found that 2 of the books had already been removed using their process to remove the books, which is that if a parent complains, they can take it to the library board. And one of the books that was widely distributed with all the different things cited out had actually been removed from our library using the process in place. I asked my others in my group, who are avid readers, if we could try to read all 8 of the books that were left, because they provided me a list of 10 books. We started reading the 8 books. Obviously, I didn't get them all myself. I rely on friends and others to read the books so we could get through them to see what they may have contained. The ones I got through, and I'll be quite honest with you, they're not going to fit this statute in any normal court. They were PG. I've heard worse on an 8 o'clock sitcom on the television. They were PG. I might have taken a PG-13 based on the violence in them, but certainly not the sex. Okay? And so I'm not sure. I'm talking about Twin Falls Public Library, where I went, checked out these books, started reading through them. I haven't got through all of them yet, but I started out with the ones that the list that came from the group who testified to us listed as 4. They had some listed as 3, some as 4. I started with the 4s. That assumed to be, these books were all in the young adult section in the Twin Falls Public Library. The one suggestion I would have that maybe I will work with my public library to say, well, maybe these should be restricted to 16 and up, because they were PG. I'll give them that. They were PG. Which way movies would be 13, I'll move it to 16. But there's certainly none of them are obscene. And I guess I need to know which libraries actually have the materials that were deemed obscene that they passed out in our committees. Because they're not in my library. I couldn't find them. My librarian said they've never had them, ever, even in the adult section. So I'm a little confused here. I'm also going to be against each and every time when we have these causes of actions. Unless I see something spelled out in there that's going to be, here's your steps, what you need to do, and then you move to the cause of action, I will always be against them, because I just think they set it up, as somebody else said in here earlier, there are a lot of hungry lawyers out there, and they're going to use this as an opportunity, because it talks about, people keep missing parts. It says 2,500 plus other damages. Well, what does that mean? How large does that get? So I would ask you your red light on this. I don't think it's necessary at this time, and I believe it is, as I've said, I believe it's overreach. And now I'll put my mask back on so I don't give anybody else a cold.
Hey, good job.